Hi guys! I'm hoping that this is live now. YouTube is telling me to stand by. Can you see me? Hello everybody. So I know this is kind of a total last minute stream. I've been a little behind because of the Midwest Rep Rap Festival. And I think this was supposed to actually happen last Monday, but I hadn't been to the post office yet. So Nick went to the post office for me before he went out of town. No, we are in a different location. Nick's gone, so he's out on a trip for work. So he's not in the living room playing video games right now, so I figured I would stream in my living room / kitchen at the kitchen table. Also, right behind the camera is the prep for the ANET A8 build that's going to be happening. If you look on my coffee table back there, you can see the paper and the clamps because I'm finishing the coffee table, which is downstairs right now being painted or drying from being painted. And I have another project over there in the kitchen. So I have so many projects going on and the lights were already down here. It just made more sense to do the stream from right here. Hi guys. Hi everybody. So yeah, we're going to do kind of just a quick, this is going to be a fairly quick stream, and that's because I have 800,000 projects going on around me and not really set up to where I can stream them right now. So we're going to do a Mailbox Monday because I have a little package pile right here. And then after that, we'll just chat about what's going on. You guys already just heard some of the projects, but I will let you guys know what other projects are going on. And that will kind of be it. Where's Bella? She's right here on the floor, right next to me. I would show you, well, here. There she is. Say hi, Bella. She's a little sad and mopey because Nick is gone. Oh, now you get up? Yeah. Anyway, so how have you guys been? Happy Monday. Let's see, what do I want to open here first? Everybody's saying hi to you. Like I said, she's not very happy because Nick's not here right now. Let's see. Let's start with this big package right here because it's super awesome what's inside. So this is a lovely little package from Heather and Travis over at Abuzz Designs, and it's freaking awesome. So I got a maker coin, and not just any maker coin. This is a super glittery, awesome maker coin. If you guys haven't checked out their channel, you need to. Like, I would say go now, but then you would stop watching this. Go in a moment when we're done. Go check out Abuzz Design. They've got some cool stuff going on right now. Oh, I'm throwing things. And then there's an awesome 3D Pink Mafia coin, which looks great. And probably one of my favorite things in here is the Ari Show coin, which is absolutely freaking adorable. How cute is that? It's a little strawberry. So cute. So if that weren't enough, I got a sticker. I need to find a place to put all these stickers because the amount of stickers I have won't fit on my laptop. So, oh, somebody's calling me. So Travis and Heather decided to send out some specialty gifts for their Patreon supporters. And I am one of their supporters. And if you're not, you should be. And one of the things that they sent out was a little bacon coin made out of the bacon filament. How awesome is this? This is the Protopasta bacon filament that you may have seen in Joel Telling's video. And if you haven't seen that one, you should. It's kind of cool to see how they make the filament. But how freaking awesome is this? I wish it still smelled like bacon. It doesn't. And then in addition to that, they sent out these, which are awesome magnets that were cut with a laser cutter. I don't really know a whole lot about the cutter itself, but Travis did a video on it, so you should check it out because it's really cool. So yeah, so they sent all of those goodies to me, and that is freaking awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. So that's package number 1. I don't want to stick a lighter to it. That would melt it. And then it wouldn't be so pretty anymore. All right, what else is in here? So, what is this one? I don't know what I have here. Oh, so some of you may have seen on, I think I posted on both Twitter and Instagram. I may have been a little rough with the Trinus acrylic bed, and it snapped. So I reached out to Kodma. All right, well, I'm not going to try to actually open this up because it is bubble wrapped like crazy. But basically, they sent me a replacement acrylic bed since mine snapped, which was really, really nice of them to do. I offered to pay for it. They offered to send it to me for free. So that was awesome of them. I do still have the black bed that came with it that's a little more pliable, but it also warps a little easier because it's more pliable. Whereas this one is pretty rigid, which sucks for taking things off the bed, but it doesn't warp. So there's a little bit of a trade-off. I will be gearing up to do that review here in the near future. There's a couple more things I do want to test on it before I officially put out a review, because I would hate to say things early before I have officially tested everything. So I'm waiting for a couple things to come in, and then that will happen soon. So probably in the next month. Next, we have a package from 3D Brooklyn. And this is a package because I won a contest. This was from the Think Making contest that they held. I won a sample of the refill recycled filament, and this is the filament in blue, and they also sent some in black, and this is, I believe it's 90% recycled material. They do have another one coming out that is 100% recycled material, which is pretty neat. So I am excited to try that out. It looks pretty cool. And lastly, I said this one was going to be quick. Lastly is something else that I'm super, super excited about. So as many of you know, and some of you may not, I'm in the process of gathering as many glitter filaments as I can possibly find. And it started off when I'm not sure. I meant to look that up, but I have not, Heather. I thought it was a spool too, but this is what I got. Anyway, so I should check that though, so that at least he will be aware that that's what they ended up sending. Anyway, so I'm trying to gather as many glitter filaments as I possibly can find. And that started with the Protopasta glitter filament that I got at just before Christmas. I absolutely fell in love with the glitter filament. I think it looks stunning and amazing. And I was lucky enough to talk to Alex a little bit from Protopasta about it when I was at Murph over the weekend before last. And we had a really great conversation about what works, what doesn't, why, the surprises that came along with it. So, but in turn, I've been looking to find out what other glitter filaments exist and how I can get my hands on all of them. So I'm still waiting on a couple of them, but this one I did not know existed. I did not know that this company existed. They are based, I believe they're based out of France. Maybe. This is Bulb Zone. I can't remember. I think they're based out of France. I'll leave a link to them on Twitter so you guys can check them out, and I'll also edit the description box below so you guys can click back in and see. Hi Ari, your coin is awesome. It is super, super awesome. I love it. So the people over at Bulb Zone sent me, I found their filament online and I was kind of surprised because it seemed pretty vibrant in color. And I'm not quite sure how true that is to what I got, because I think some of the pictures of it ended up being a little more vibrant. These are still super, super bright. So here is one of the filaments. It's like a, really? I bet that's Nick, and he should know to check on Twitter to see if I'm live streaming. Oh, no, it's from the census. Anyway. So this is a super, super pretty purpley pink. I don't know if you can really tell the color. Doesn't really want to focus on it. For reals? Hold on. Sorry. I'm one of those people that still has a home line, which you guys have found out a couple times now, which Nick uses for his work line. So they probably listened to the outgoing message and are like, wait, we're calling an office? Anyway, so it's a really pretty, almost like magenta-y glitter. Then there's this one, which it's kind of hard to tell the color. It almost looks brown. I don't know if you guys can really see that. I'll be interested to see what this looks like. I think it's supposed to be a red fleck, but it kind of looks brown. And there is a blue, which is really, really pretty. Protopasta, actually, while I was at Murph, had a sample that they had done with a blue glitter, and it looked very similar to this. So I'll be interested to see how it actually looks. The flecks that are in this look smaller than the ones with Protopasta, and I'm kind of wondering if that will change the way that the overall product looks. And lastly, there is this super fun green color, which I am super excited to print with. So those are my newest glitters. There are not any that has a multicolored fleck in it, although I did see one from Protopasta that had a almost holographic fleck in it, but it was not an official color. It was just one that they had prototyped. And it was super pretty, and I told him that if he wanted any help with other glitters, I would be happy to help. Yeah, these colors are on camera look a lot brighter than they do flecks showing off of the light. They're super pretty. And I'm really excited to test these out. So it was very nice of them to send me those. But then in addition to sending me those, they sent me some of their metallics, which I need to do a little bit more research on. I think he said they were metal filled, which means they are a little abrasive, which is fine. I've got plated nozzles, no big deal. I just want to make sure that I can tell you correctly. This is one of them. It kind of looks like an aluminum color, which is pretty, but not as pretty as these other two. So this is one of them. It's a super pretty, like dark steel color. Almost, not quite a carbon color, somewhere in between a carbon and a steel. It's super, super pretty, and I don't think the camera's quite doing it justice. But Heather, you'll like this one. It's a metal pink looking one. It's super, super pretty with a metallic sheen to it. Not a super bright pink, but it's almost like a dusty mauve color. It's super, super pretty. I haven't seen anything like this from any other company. So yeah, so I'm very excited that they sent me these too. These are a total bonus, and I can't wait to play with these. I'll leave information to their website down in the description box. I should have done that before, and I didn't. Because like I said, I hadn't seen their company ever before when searching for filaments. This is from Bulb Zone. Here's their logo. Let me look up their website really quick. It is bulbzone.net. And they have a shop as well as a blog, it looks like. Yeah, bulbzone.net, the Maker's Factory. They seem really, really awesome, and I am very, very excited to test these out. That was very awesome of them to send me this much. So that's all I have. Yeah, that's it for Mailbox Monday. I say that's it as if that's not a lot. That's awesome, and I'm super excited about every single thing I have here. So, do you guys have any questions on any of those before I move on to chit-chatting? And do you have any questions in general? So I'll do a quick little Q&A before I go. What is the painting behind you? Those two paintings were actually from Bed Bath & Beyond. Nick and I talk every once in a while that we're going to invite people over and then switch the two paintings so that the people are on the other side, just to... I hope it's not my internet. It says I'm still good. Just to screw people up when they come over and the pictures are backwards. Robert, it was just a free sample. I requested a free sample of the glitter filament so that I could include it in my glitter review that will be coming up soon. I did get the Maker Geek box. I have not had a chance to open it. I got it the day before we left to go to Indiana. And since we've been back, life has been crazy. I've been working on a coffee table. I edited and uploaded and pre-scheduled 3 videos. And yeah, it's been crazy. So I have not had a chance to do it. That is on the list of things to do. let's see. The coffee table's coming along. I sanded it all down yesterday, and I am filming that process so I can show you how I sanded it and then primed it and then painted it. Once that's done, I will do a video on it coming together. So there's a video that's already uploaded and scheduled for, I think it's scheduled for next week, which will be the gluing of everything. So the last video you guys may have seen was the figuring out the puzzle of how everything went together. The next is going to be gluing everything together. The video after that will be painting it, and then there will be a assembly video, and probably a video about the top, which is still in question. I'm waiting for a quote back on acrylic. Yeah, the table isn't 100% complete. At Murph, it was 50% complete, which most people didn't even realize. But one leg that had clamps on it was still needing to be primed and painted, whereas the other leg was completed. If you go watch Joel's video where he interviewed me, I think he posted it last night or early this morning. I don't know. Anyway, so if you look in that video, there is a close-up of the table. One section of it has little paint colors on it. That is how I determined where everything needed to be glued together. That piece was not completed yet, hence why there were still clamps on it. So yeah, so it's been a fun process. Like I said, it's downstairs right now. Right before this live stream, I was putting a coat of primer on it. And the way that I figured out I could glue the insides, because it's two pieces that come back to back, and to figure out where I needed to glue on the inside, I sprayed both sides of it, front and back, to leave a reveal of where there needed to be glue. Anywhere that was still black on the inside, it needed to be glued, whereas anything that was gray did not. So that's why I left one piece unfinished, because it was either finish everything or leave one unglued to go to Indiana. It is like a giant puzzle. It's been freaking insane. And I will be very excited when it's done. I think, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the release of it. There's been a lot of question about it. First, before I do any releasing, I need to figure out how to key it a little bit so that you can easily put it together, because there are so many pieces, and trying to get everything to line up the way you want. In the video that I'll be releasing next week, you'll see I went to go put clamps on everything, and because they're round gears, it would start to turn. Thank you. That's awesome of you. Pixel Gear, you are awesome. So when you go to clamp it and you've got one gear here and one gear here, they start to twist on each other. And trying to clamp that without some sort of keying was a nightmare. That was the most frustrating and most difficult part of the entire process. And I don't want somebody else to go through that, because if somebody else had to go through that, they would give up on it. You would have to be super dedicated and really want it to come out in the end to actually go through the frustrations of trying to epoxy it together. So there's going to be, I think, I'm not sure. I have to play around with it. I did the designs in SketchUp, and I can't use SketchUp to do the keying. So I'm going to have to move it from SketchUp into Fusion 360 or something else. So it's going to have to be playing around with it to figure out the best way to do it. I also have to figure out how to line it up correctly in Fusion 360 so that I am, in fact, keying it in the right location. So there's a lot that I need to figure out before I can release the files. But then in addition to that, there's a huge question of whether or not I should release them free of charge or whether or not I should release them for sale. There is also the question of if I'm going to sell completed coffee tables, and I am considering it. However, I am thinking it's going to be possibly cast in metal instead of selling 3D printed pieces, because I don't have the time to put together coffee tables. Now, granted, after doing one, it shouldn't take the full couple of years, or full year, 9 months, 10 months, whatever it's been. It won't take that long to do it the second time around, but it still is super, super time consuming. So there's a place up in Standish, Maine, which isn't too far away from me, that does small quantity casting of small or large pieces. So I'm going to contact them and see how much it would cost to have a piece cast. And if it's not astronomically expensive, it might be something that I do for our house, and then go from there. I can at least use that as a showpiece, and if people want it, I can have it cast to order. So I'm gonna look into that, because I think it'd be a really cool way of doing things. And then I would just offer a template for the top, because I don't want to have to deal with shipping glass or acrylic. Yeah, so I am going to create holes and pins built into the design. That is the plan. But I have to figure out how to do that the best way when there's so many pieces. Even just importing it into Fusion 360, it's not as simple as just throwing it all in there. I have to realign everything, make sure it's the way that I want it to be. Yeah, so looking at the price of the time, using like a basic calculator for the price, the time, the cost of the filament, the cost of the electricity, the finishing time, all of that going into it, the cost of the paints and the epoxy. When you look at everything, not including the top, if I were to sell a completed piece, I would be looking at around $1,600 to $1,800. And I'm just not sure if somebody would want to, I'm sure somebody would want to pay that, but I just don't know, for the amount of time it takes me to make one, is the price worth it on my end in terms of my time? Is that the best use of my time, basically? I can align it in SketchUp. In fact, I have aligned it in SketchUp. However, SketchUp's a pain. I don't recommend it for projects like this at all. Actually, I don't recommend it for 3D modeling at all. I know that they've kind of tried to make it more 3D modeling friendly, but it's really not. There ends up being too many holes. Even though you're perfectly level and all of your lines are at the correct spot, you end up with these holes in your faces, and which sounds painful. But it's not a good program to use. And so I can align it, but putting in a hole and a pin into SketchUp is a nightmare. Basically, drawing anything that you need to be solid that's not a rectangle can be a nightmare in SketchUp. So I don't want to make my life more difficult than it is. So I'm going to look at moving it into Fusion 360. Yes, I have the assembled model in SketchUp. The image on all of the thumbnails for the coffee table videos is an actual screenshot from the SketchUp video, or from the SketchUp file. It isn't, however, completely lined up. It's each individual gear in the approximate location, but they're not touching in the way that they are in the final piece, because I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to even work. Now that I know that, I can adjust it accordingly. Yeah, I thought about just doing, because there's a spot in each gear where the teeth kind of come together like this, and I thought about just notching one of them and extending another one to make it easier to put together. In terms of the gears themselves, that I think would be the easiest, but going front to back, the best option is going to be pegs and holes to actually help with the amount of epoxy that's going to be holding it together. I have used Tinkercad for similar files to do things like that, and Tinkercad might be good. I know that Fusion 360 in their latest update did a release to help you be able to modify STL files, so that might be worthwhile to try. And in this case, I'm sure Tinkercad would probably do exactly what I'm looking for, because it's not like I'm trying to do something super complicated. I redesigned my tripod mount in Tinkercad, and it worked fine, and I wouldn't even be doing that much to the gears. Hi, Kat. What am I missing? Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. Did I miss anything in the chat? If I missed your comment, please let me know. I do see one. Can the legs of the table be printed as one big printer or part? In theory, each leg has two sides, a front and a back. So that's 4 sections total. I could technically print, if I had a large enough bed, I could print the entire single section. So 4 total prints to do the entire coffee table. And then I could just print pegs separately. But I don't have a 24-inch by 15-inch build volume laying flat printer, and there are very few out there that would fit that size. How well does it scale down? I'm not sure. If you wanted to go dollhouse size, you would have to go to a much smaller nozzle, and because of the teeth on the gear, I would imagine it would work, but I'm not sure. The problem with the Part Daddy is it prints very large lines, and you can't get the detail that you would want in the inside the gears themselves. Thank you. I will check it out as soon as I am off of live streaming. I don't have a printer that big yet. No, I don't. The Trinus is sitting over there on my counter. I'm not going to show you that way because our table is full of mail and papers and tax documents. So, but there is a Trinus right over there. I have the Flash Forge in the other room, and then right behind the camera is the setup for the ANET A8, which I will start building as soon as I get off this live stream. And I'm hoping to get a larger printer. I am in talks with somebody to get a larger printer, but I'm not sure when that will be released yet. Next big project, I'm going to be working on shoes, 3D printed shoes. Many of you know that I have a high heel addiction. I love wearing high heels. I wear them almost every single day. I'm wearing them right now. Some of mine tend to be insanely tall for what most people would consider normal, up to 5-inch heels. And I have no problem walking in them. And I want to print my own. I got the idea once I bought, or once I think Nick got them for me for my birthday. They were a pair of vertebrae heels. So the actual heel itself is in the shape of vertebrae, which I thought was freaking awesome. And I thought, well, if you could do vertebrae, you could do anything as a heel. So I am going to be designing not just the heel though. I want to design the entire shoe, including the fabric part of it. So that's going to be a interesting project. I know nothing about designing shoes. I know nothing about making shoes. I've been talking to a couple people who are willing to help me out, which is awesome. It's going to be a long process, though, of doing research to figure out how to best make shoes, because I don't want them to be cheesy 3D printed shoes. I want them to be shoes I would actually wear on a regular basis. So that's next. And then also is going to be end tables to match the coffee table. They're not going to be the same concept, though. They're still going to involve gears so that it looks like a completed set. But I'm thinking more gears underneath a acrylic top that can be turned with a metal base of some kind. So it'll still be 3D printed, and it will still be gears, but it's not going to be the same Noguchi style because you need the extra height on an end table than you do on a coffee table. So those are my next two big projects. My next thing that I'm working on in the immediate future is the horrible cup contest for Make and See Me CNC, because I have a really good idea for it. Now I just have to figure out how to do it. Yes, only double G-Max bed, which would be awesome. At what was the event that was in Vegas? There was a printer that could have done it there. I have 3 printers. Well, I have 2 and 1 in a box. Well, not really in a box, in pieces. I thought about getting the CR10. I didn't for a couple of reasons. One, I'm trying to save some money. I'm trying to make it out to Bay Area Maker Faire, which I think I'll be able to do. But if I were to buy a G-Max or a CR10, that would not be happening. I also am trying to buy a original Prusa Mark IIs, which means I really can't spend extra money on a CR10 or G-Max. I would love a G-Max. It's actually the printer I've wanted since just after getting the Flash Forge. I've wanted the G-Max. So at some point, I will have one. I'm trying to get my Etsy site up and running so that I can help fund some of these projects and things that I have that I'd like to do. Because it's very easy in the YouTube world to jump into spending a ton of money on all these printers because I can blame it on the channel. But the fact is I still have to pay for those. And unfortunately, I can't afford to just keep spending money on printers. So yeah. I don't know which flex I'm trying. My guess is going to be Ninja Flex because it's the softest I've found. That's part of the reason why I did the flex video that I did, because I wanted to find out. I heard that there's one that's even softer than Ninja Flex, but I haven't tried it, and I do want to try it because I think for a shoe you want it to be as flexible as possible. Yes, I will print some shoes. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I've got some crazy ideas. Most of them are probably only shoes that I would wear. Well, there's got to be somebody else. I think Naomi would probably wear them too. But other than that, I think most people would think I'm crazy. But that's okay. I design things because I like them. I don't purposely design it because other people are going to like them. I doesn't design it because I do, and if other people like it, then that's a bonus. Yeah, 3,000 is a lot to drop on a printer. Um, I wish I had the money. I don't. But that's okay. I mean, I am a big proponent of make what you've got work for you. And so far, I mean, just until when I got up until when I got the Trinus, I only had the Flash Forge, and I obviously have made it work for me pretty well. Having the Trinus has been a huge help, especially preparing for Murph. It allowed me to print maker coins on one printer and keychains on another. So that was super, super helpful, and everything was awesome. It turned out great, and if it wasn't for having the Trinus, I wouldn't have been able to get nearly what I needed to done. Excuse me. So, but it's okay. You know, at some point I will have the money for it and I will buy one. Seriously, I mean, that's kind of been my mentality, especially when you get into YouTubing. I was recently asked for an interview what I would recommend for a person wanting to start their own YouTube channel. And one of my biggest things is don't go broke doing it. Having a hobby and being able to spend your money on your hobby is great. And if you can afford to do certain things and afford to do a lot, then by all means do it. That's awesome and more power to you. But you shouldn't be putting everything you have and more into it, because it's just not worth it in the end. You'll end up with the frustrations, the aggravations, the headaches of having to figure out how to pay your bills. And YouTube does not make you a lot of money in the beginning. So don't feel like you have to go buy the latest and the greatest, which in this industry you're going to want to do, but you just can't afford it. None of us can. Yes, experiences and memories, not to mention it's a huge chance to network and get together with some of the other YouTubers and do some collaborations and talk with people about different products, which even if you don't have access to those products, just like in my recap that I uploaded this morning, you can show people how these products work, even if you don't have them. So it'll give me an opportunity to show you guys a whole lot more things, even if I can't have them myself. Yeah, I bought a new laptop. That's the other thing, is I did buy a new laptop because my old one did not handle Fusion 360 at all, and barely handled Blender. In fact, it probably didn't handle Blender. I just forced it to. So I did buy a new laptop after I graduated. It was kind of my graduation present to myself, but I am still paying it off. So I can't justify spending a ton of money on it, on a printer, as much as I would love to. Exactly. Grass is greener, bird in the hand, all that. But I don't have a fancy webcam. I'm using my webcam that's on my laptop. It happens to be a decent one. For my time lapses, I use an old cell phone. I do have a DSLR, which I use for filming. I've had that for 4 years now, 3 years, so it's not a newer camera, but it works. Do you want to play? She's playing by herself over there. So yeah, so that's one of my biggest suggestions, is if you want to start a YouTube channel, go for it. It's a lot of fun. The community is amazing. A, don't focus on the numbers, and B, don't go broke doing it. So now that I can get off my soapbox on that, yeah, so I don't really have anything else for you guys. I told you guys what is going to be happening with the channel here in the near future. I can go over a couple of videos that I am working on right now. So the next gluing video for the coffee table is uploaded. I just need to make it go live. I have an interview with Jason Powell, who did a color mixing Delta, which is so cool. It's water cooled, and he gives me his little spiel. And I talked to him a little bit after I turned the camera off, which I wish I wouldn't have I wish I would have kept the camera rolling because there was some other information. So I'll talk to you guys about that. And I've got a proto pasta HTPLA video where I compare boiling to anneal versus baking. So that will be coming up. I need to film the intro and the outro to that. I was going to do it tonight, but I don't have time. So it's going to happen tomorrow. And there is a video on the Maker Geek Geek Box. And there's a bunch more. I'm missing a ton of them. I'm working on getting my studio up and running in the den, just the next room over that way. I was able to get an entire desk. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. I was able to get my entire desk from work for free. My boss gave me a gigantic countertop, which is awesome. So next I'm going to be putting that together. So that's going to be in a video because I'm not sure how I'm going to set it up and how I'm going to do it. There's some DIY stuff I need to do with it. Bye. Thanks for watching. So yeah, that stuff is happening. I do have more videos, but off the top of my head, I can't remember them. I have a huge list of them going on my to-do list on my phone, which is great. And like I said, I did get a couple already uploaded and ready to go. Oh, and my video with Zoe, my niece, is going to be going up in the next, I think that'll go up this week, assuming I can get it finished. It's a 60-minute video that I'm trying to edit down to at least 30 minutes. It's very much a paint with us and chit chat video, which I know is not going to be up a lot of people's alleys, but it was so much fun to do, and my niece is adorable and I love her to death, so it's going up. Yes, do not go buy another printer just to buy another printer. I mean, as much as that seems like a lot of fun, if you don't have the money for it. Now, if you have the money for it, go for it. And I'm totally jealous. You should do it. If you don't, though, work with what you got. Hi, Chris. I think that's kind of all I have for you guys. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Are you done playing already? You're so cute. There's Bella. She's looking at me expectantly. I'm gonna have to go here in a couple minutes so that I can go play with her. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. Yes, new studio. So down two doors down that way in my house, we have a den, and it currently is Bella's room. She basically uses that room as her own, and oh, stop. You're so distracting. So we decided that when I got more than one printer, I don't have a place for one. Hence why this one, the Trinus, is sitting in my kitchen right now. So we decided that the den wasn't really being used for anything, so we might as well turn it into a 3D printing studio. So, stop. So yeah, so that's going to be happening soon. I was able to get a desk and some cabinets from work, and I will be turning it into a gigantic desk space for printers and working. You are likely to get a lot of oozing on your FlashForge Creator Pro doing dual color prints. My suggestion is to drop your temperature at least 5 degrees. It may affect your print quality, but you will get less oozing. That's one of the problems with doing dual extrusion prints. coolest printer I saw at Murph. I really liked the color mixer Delta, the one that you told me to go look at, Chris. It was really, really impressive work. I also really like the super, super tall ones. Bella, come here. Come here. Come here. She's being mouthy. So I really like that. I like the one that Lulzbot was working on. There was a prototype for them. That was really cool. And of course the Part Daddy was freaking amazing, and I need one of those stools in my life. And everything there was amazing, and I'm so glad I was able to see it all. Bella is so over the stream. She wants to play, so I'm gonna get going. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'm sure I will see you guys again here super soon. Stay tuned for some lots of awesome content. Yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.